that. So, tequila?
What's that?
This is what producers in the field that I've worked, well, in the areas that I've worked with have suggested before every time that I've gotten in front of camera. It is a shot.
Let's have like an intermission and then we will take a shot.
You want to do that
as well?
I mean, we can do that shit now. Yeah,
I was just saying,
that's
like,
fine
they
with
say, say you take a shot before you do camera work to help kind of like.
I trust your word.
Yeah.
So
I feel
let's take a shot.
Yeah. But what's up? Quiet Drip, yo. How'd you come up with just the name?
It's kind of funny. Like, I truly don't remember. I randomly changed my Instagram name to like Quiet Drip, but like the company was the Quieting Company. It's like derived from like when I was a child, like when I would like want to do things, but my mother wouldn't allow me to. Like, you know how you would like sneak people in your crib, like, but your mom, obviously you gotta be quiet. Like your mom's like, no company. Like, you feel me? Like, you like a little kid. You know, trying to be on some shit, but at the same time, it's like I always wanted to just be that badass kid and just do the shit that, like, you know, my mother told me not to do. Yeah. Just off just like intuition and just me being playful as a kid. So like when I did a few of the first couple of pieces that I did, it's just like a lot of colors, and I just like playing with colors. Just like I said, it just reminds me of a kid. Like the kid's mindset is still there.
That's tough.
When I do, like when I'm creating, you know, it's just like a whole bunch of inspiration from things as a child and stuff like that.
It's crazy that you say that because I was thinking that Quiet Drip was like quiet, like literal, like low key, like you just, you know, you got low key drip. Like
that's also a part of the
that's
whole too. Yeah, that's also a part of the whole identity or whatever. People be calling me like, yo, Quiet Drip. I'm like, yo, what the hell? You know my name. It's Rakim.
It's funny because I was about to like be like, yep, Quiet Drip.
Yeah, niggas be like, oh, like, is that? Oh, that's Quiet Drip. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not a star. Like, like I don't like. Why are you calling me by my Instagram? It'd be people that I know. You feel me? Like personally, and I'm just like, oh man, I have this whole Quiet Drip thing. I gotta keep going with it. You feel me?
And well, on top of that though, like since I've known you, even in high school, bro, like you've had like a certain like image, I guess, that's just like super clean, like low key, but like, so I feel like it's all just kind of like you, like at the end of the day, bro.
Yeah, I think it really just, I guess, embodies the personality or whatever between just, I guess, how I dress, how I act, and kind of how I move.
That's tough.
And everything. Care about details all the time and shit.
How'd you now that you're saying details, we could talk about your fit for real. So how did you what was your vision, I guess, when you woke up, or like did you think about it yesterday, like how you come up with your fits?
So I'm a procrastinator, so I'm not really like planned out person when it comes to things. I'm always like do it last minute. So it's kind of crazy when I'll just be like envisioning shit like, okay, I put this, because I always think the night before that I'm gonna come up with a really trash fit. I always think that I'm like, yo, I don't know what the fuck to wear. Like, I'm just like in my head, but at the same time, it's like, I'll figure it out. Like, you feel me? Because just the intuition, you like, you know, you can't really teach style, you know. You can teach somebody like how to dress and shit like that, but that's not like their own innate style. So when it comes to shit like that, it really it's intuition when it comes to shit like that. And that's just how I woke up this morning. I was like, I want to wear something bright, like want to wear my friend's brand.
What's the
hat,
brand?
Ajar.
That's the brand?
Yeah, he does like really futuristic shit.
That's hard.
My man is Rashi. I was gonna wear his chain, but I forgot. Sorry, Rashi.
Does he has he like he has like a person that like a distributor that he, you know, like that's tough to like get that,
I'm sure
like,
he
like
sourced
how
a
that's
lot
like sold in and shit.
I'm sure he sourced a lot of people from like overseas and shit like that. He has a lot of like sources with shit. But he's really dope. He does some of my graphic work for my brand as well. It's a good friend. But he has really dope shit. He's coming out with some fire shit for women as well.
Yeah.
So I'd be on the lookout for that.
And it's lit too, bro. I know I'm like, I do this often, but I be jumping. But the fact that like, okay, sometimes when people they'll have a business, right, and you have, you know, like a certain interest, and so like this is like your field, but like the fact that you're also supportive of, you know, your friend's business as well, like since like he's also, you know what I mean, in the fashion as well. So like that's just that's a
I mean, you gotta like support.
Yeah,
You kind
exactly.
of gotta support the community or just the people that have the same like level as you, like-minded people.
Mhm.
Those are the people you get along best with. Like sometimes you come across people who aren't, you know, on the same like boat as you or level. Then you try to find some type of correlation or some connection with that person, but it doesn't always click.
yeah.
But that's kind of what connects us as people in general, though. Just being able to like connect with them, like on a mindset level.
But back to your fit though.
Mhm.
So you were saying so the hat. So what about everything else? Like how'd you? That jacket is.
The jacket
Yeah.
is Stussy.
Yeah.
It's from that spring summer 21 collection, I'm sure. And then what's it called? Go ahead.
I know.
Yeah, go.
How you you went to the mall and you like?
Nah, I don't
grabbed
go to the mall and
No.
buy shit if I'm being
Okay.
honest. I got this in New York, Dover Street Market. These pants I ordered online, the denim tears. I don't know if you guys can see these motherfuckers, but
I think one I might be able to see.
whatever.
Yeah.
Denim tears.
Yeah.
The shirt is, I think it's BBC. Yeah, BBC, and it's like Murakami.
Is that Billionaire Boys Club?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's BBC.
Yeah.
And it's at the Something in the Water concert, if you remember that. It was at like VA, I'm pretty sure.
Mhm.
This nigga Pharrell made a concert, had to do the concert.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But that's like a tour tee from
I
that.
fuck with Murakami. Too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's one of my favorite artists, contemporary artists.
You like David Cho? I think it's David Cho.
Who's David Cho?
So he does. I feel like he started off doing like street graffiti art, but he really got like his wealth, bro. He's a multi-millionaire. Maybe like I think his net worth might be like 400K or something. I mean, 400 million, not 400K, 400 million. So pretty much he was cool with one of the founders of Facebook, one of the owners, the original owners of Facebook. I think like the guy that owned Napster. You remember his name?
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, exactly. Bro, it's crazy. I was just watching The Social Network like yesterday.
That's the only movie I have like I bought before before on like Apple Music. Like that's the only one. Like that's the only movie I bought, and I would watch that shit on the plane all the time.
That's crazy. That you just said that though. Yeah, I love that movie.
It's like one of my favorite movies, bro.
The thing about that movie, though, like one of them, it was I feel like a part of that movie got me into like sort of like that like elitist like wanting to be like in the like because I
cyber friend groups and stuff like that, or just like in like
so
business wise.
In high school, it made me want to go to Harvard. That shit made me want to like be in a whatever.
On some elite shit, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what do they call them? The social clubs. What was the name of it?
Elitist. You said. What do you mean?
What were the name? They were in final clubs, I think, or finals clubs, something like that. But it was pretty.
Yeah,
much
I know what you're talking about.
It's pretty much like a fraternity.
Fraternity,
but
it's
you.
some other shit.
Yeah.
Take the shot right quick.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what he's at.
That's not too bad.
It's not as bad as I thought.
We just did the shot, bro. It's cool.
Yeah, take your shot, yo.
I don't even think he pulled himself.
Yeah.
I thought you was. Yeah.
I mean, I was going to.
Shit.
Yeah.
Pull up a shot, nigga.
I got you.
But
Feel me?
That Espelon, nice.
The Espelon is
That
sweet.
Espelon.
But I fuck with Social Network. Yeah, that was like Oh, that's what I was saying. It got me into like that, like, because he was talking in the beginning of the movie. He was pretty much talking about he got like a 1600 or something, like a perfect score on his SAT, and it was just like, yo, like these guys are like smart as hell. But then it also got to the point where it was like, yeah, they got like bread. So it was like that was
such a quick transition.
Yeah, and that's what gave me the appeal to like not necessarily follow along in like certain paths, I guess, like as far as like what was like cool within Baltimore as far as like the city. Like, so it was like let me try some different shit.
Yeah,
and, like I started like sort of figuring some shit out. Way.
Yeah, definitely inspired by that movie. Another movie was probably like Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah. So yo, it's crazy. I love those. I love Wolf of Wall Street. I don't know if you ever watched Margin Call. That shit is a little bit boring. But it's good.
Nah, I don't think.
And then it's also The Big Short. Like,
I was about to say that. I fuck with that one too.
Oh,
that one,
crazy.
yeah.
We might be the same nigga.
Yeah. Oh shit. The Tale of Two Sides.
He's like, this is our quant. Look at him. He looks like he knows math or some shit like that. They were talking about the dude that it was like an Asian dude that they brought in. hella racist.
The niggas are off charts, but I think it's just the nigga like Leonardo DiCaprio. That nigga is just elite when it comes to shit. Yeah. That nigga always. You seen Snow? I think not. I don't know if it's Snowpiercer. Mm. Nah, it's not. I know. It's the Revenant where he fights a bear.
Oh, I haven't watched it.
This nigga is insane, bro. He did some crazy shit and he like almost got fucked up by a bear and he came back and fucked him up.
You know what, yo? I feel like I might have watched
that.
That
was a very serious scene. Like you probably seen that on Twitter or some shit like that.
Yeah.
It's like that.
I'm gonna pull that shit up. I might have watched that like tonight.
That nigga TK. You seen the Revenant?
Mm-mm.
The one where he fights a bear. Do you know?
I don't think I've seen that. You know, I'll be watching movies.
This nigga.
Jeez, yeah.
Educate yourself.
He too tuned in there with life, yo.
Real rap. Look. I'll figure it out.
That's dope.
Right now I'm on the extreme side. I'll find that moderation soon.
Yeah. But we were talking about David Cho, right? Right. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah, we're kind of getting everywhere, but
that's what I want.
Yeah,
like that's exactly like how I wanted to go. Just like kind of like conversations. Just that should just go in.
Like tennis,
dive into anything,
feeding back and forth.
Exactly.
Has to.
Yeah. Exactly.
Has to. Because time when you run out of content to bring up, of subject matter to bring about, that's when you feel like a true dickhead.
Yeah.
Because this is your show.
Yeah.
What you're doing, and like. You don't have ways to keep shit fluent and fluid, you're gonna look like an asshole, and then it's gonna cause like anxiety, stress, and overwhelm because you're like, fuck, why is it? Because you're trying to guide too much. You're trying to fucking let things be fluid. Yeah. It's okay. Just keep the main point in your head. So as you keep continuing to get off topic. But in things that are still interesting,
exactly.
You still have the main point in your head of where you need to bring shit back to. Keep shit fluid.
Yeah. And you spoke on a good point though, because so I was doing one of the videos, and I noticed that like I would ask a question, and after I would ask one question, I would be thinking about my other question, so I didn't really give it enough attention, like what the person was saying from the first one. You know what I mean? So it was
your first episode is what you're saying?
I don't know if it was the first one. It was one of them where it was like I would.
You saying you just kept thinking about the next question.
I was thinking about the next question rather than processing what they're saying and then like building off of what they said. You know what I mean? Like that was like one of those.
To the next step,
yeah. But
well, I mean, you build over time. Just keep trying and practicing things. You eventually get good at them. Not all people are able to, but you get to articulate more, and then you get to adjust on what you have to do. And your whole movement and shit like that. You don't really think about it too much. When I feel like things that you love, you don't like sweat. If you feel what I'm saying.
That's true. Yeah.
Like you're not as anxious like
Mm-hmm.
with things that you like know, because you're just like I said back for when I was talking about earlier about intuition,
Mhm.
like that. But
And now that you just spoke on that, this is something that I enjoy because I've been, I've always, I've never been the person to like enjoy. Oh, I mean, of course, parties are like cool, you know what I mean, and like going out and like drinking and shit like that, like all of that is like fun. It's fun, but I also enjoy just those authentic moments, like where I'm just sitting down having a conversation with somebody, like eating or drinking or doing whatever, but it's like, you know, you have like somebody's
more intimate.
yeah, it's more intimate. You have like somebody's attention. You can like really, you know, dive into some stuff. So like I feel like this is also a way for me to just do that. You know what I mean? Something that like I
True,
enjoy.
it's like
Yeah.
a deeper understanding or a deeper conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, because like sometimes it depends. Like usually you're with a group of people, so it's like your one-on-one time is
yeah, you
not
can't
as
really
like balanced with every single person. And you feel like you leave some people out of the situation.
Yeah.
When it's not really that, it's just how long are we actually together? Like you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're enjoying yourself, you're not really like timing the clock. You know,
Mhm.
like not trying to beat the clock or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just living.
Exactly.
I'm on some like chill shit. You
Yeah.
feel me? No rush.
Exactly. I'm the same way, bro. But oh yeah, my bad. I keep jumping off of David Joe, but yeah. So so pretty much whoever the guy was, Justin Timberlake, right? He he gave he was like, we can either pay you later, I think, for the mural that he did, like in their first like Facebook office or some shit like that.
Mhm.
He was like, or we can give you stock in Facebook. So pretty much whatever amount of stock that they gave him, that shit, like I'll multiply like by I don't know how much. So like now he's
So he got stock and he chose the stock.
yeah, he chose the stock, and this was like early on in Facebook, so he probably got like a nice amount of shares, and so that just like increased
His
and
wealth. Yeah.
yeah. So now he's like like I don't know what his net worth is, but something crazy like 400 million or some shit like that, just off of like that, like
Off
pretty
that
much like
that
that
stock
collection.
accumulation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah. This shit is
So what work? Like what type of work does he?
So and that's why I had thought of him because I feel like I've seen him do a similar artwork, but he does like, and this is something I talked to somebody else about as far as like what I notice now within the art community, I guess, or like what's really selling. He does like a lot of the like really colorful like cartoonist sort of arts, but I mean he also does.
I feel like I know who you're talking
he does
about.
portraits and shit as well. But he's
I feel like I know
he's
what
pretty
you're talking
popular.
about.
He's pretty popular.
He
He's
does like colorful shit, right?
yeah. You've probably seen him.
Nah, probably. I just off the top of my head. I don't
Yeah.
even know.
But I was about to ask you. So I noticed on your Instagram, right? Like, well, especially with your story, you're always like real up to date with like current shit, like what's going on, like with fashion, with art, or just like shit in general. Like you had posted a joint that I commented on, the Elon Musk building a robot, that type of shit. But like one, we can get into that. But I was also gonna say, like, how do you stay up to date with everything? Like, what's your tactics?
I'm usually. I follow a lot of people. That's how like my follower count ratio is ass.
Yeah.
But,
is that important now than what it?
Nah, I don't. I've
too
learned
much
to not
into it?
really care about it that much, even though like people like judge people really based on their follow count. Like crazy. So, but nah, I've learned to not like. It's less stress on me. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
If you want to follow me, you can.
Yeah.
If you don't, like, that's fine with me too.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna live my life regardless.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I follow a lot of like different brands, people that do concepts. I like interior design, like all that shit. Like I follow a lot of accounts that just post that shit. So I'm always on Instagram. I kind of like use it like Tumblr and like reposting shit.
Right.
So I have a lot of shit saved
Yeah.
in my Instagram and shit like that.
Yeah.
So to speak. pretty cool.
And that's also something that's been I've also seen sort of I feel like it's not popular, but like I think it's Hidden New York. I think like that those type of pages
cool.
where like they just repost like a lot of like just appealing
shit,
images. Yeah, just like
aesthetic is crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Every single angle, intricate.
Mm-hmm.
Color is crazy.
Yeah.
It's things that you haven't seen. It's like news. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's dead ass news. Like
Yeah.
I've never seen what the fuck, like where do you get these? Like
Yeah.
ID on like what's the ID on those pants? Or, like, people are on deck, they're trying to figure out shit.
Probably
they're
like
trying to get hip.
you never seen before type shit. Like
They try to get hip to the culture all
Mm-hmm.
the time. And that's what the cool thing is about Instagram. I guess you can always be up to date with shit.
yeah.
Or just, I like being the first to see something or the first to know something
Mm-hmm.
out of everybody. Because some people don't really care about that. Like,
Yeah.
they're like, I see it when I see it, or I hear it when I hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I try to be the first person to like see
Yeah.
or hear or whatever.
Yeah, like being on to some shit, like
On deck, like
yeah. Have you being on top of stuff? Have you do you feel like you've discovered like brands like small brands that might not have necessarily like had the following or like the had the support, but like you like saw it and you were like, this is some good shit, and then like maybe like a year later or some shit like they got like hella
hell yeah.
like
Hell yeah.
discovering like that type of shit. Yeah.
Hella brands that I've seen that are like minuscule,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're up there like
Yeah.
50,000, 100,000, like
Mm-hmm.
150, 250,000, like 250,000. It really ranges for real.
Mm-hmm.
It depends. Like I've been following brands for 10 years. You feel me? 10, 15 years
Mm-hmm.
for a minute. So it's just been stacking from that.
Yeah.
Ever since like just seeking inspiration, like people are my inspiration. So like when I see people, it's like I said, I study people. So
Yeah.
when I see people, I
That's
just
tough.
picture the shit in my mind. Have a photographic
Yeah.
memory of things.
Yo, are you ever like out and just see somebody with like a fit or just some shit and they just like look interesting and you just want to be like, damn, like who?
All
is this?
day.
Yo, yeah.
All day. All the time, yo.
Yeah.
People be scared to like admit that.
Mhm.
I'm like, yo, what the hell? Just like be a good person.
Yeah.
If you see a nigga fit his hard, you feel me? Compliment the nigga.
Yeah. And on top of that, even like not even young dudes, like I've seen like older like fucking 60-year-old, white men and they got on like a fit that's just like hella like
Pristine.
yeah, it's like
just clean.
perfect like color choices and shit like that, like just
Color selection crazy.
yeah.
Like, okay.
I'm just like damn, this is clean as fuck.
Old
yeah.
ass heads. Old ass heads be clean and shit sometimes.
Yeah,
Like,
bro. So
nice.
I was asking that, and this is like more recent because I've done it before where I've like definitely approached somebody and be like, damn, like this, like I'm feeling your fit or I'm feeling like that jacket. Where'd you get that jacket from? Like that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like going into Costco, and
Costco.
yeah,
Okay.
this Asian guy. I don't know, like where he's from, like specifically, but foreign guy, right?
Yeah.
But he had on loungewear, and it was like gray, pretty much a gray. It almost looked like pajamas, like somewhat like pajamas, but it looked hella comfortable. It was like a gray like sweater type feel, crew neck, and then he had it tucked in into like the lounge pants, which were like matching. Both of them were like light gray.
Was it like cotton or it was cotton?
I think so. I think it was
Okay.
cotton, but it was like fit, like really. It was fitted. I feel like the pants. It wasn't like they weren't joggers though. I don't think. I think they might have been joggers. I can't remember. But it was just like I fucks with this fit. Like I think he might have had on like glasses, and I think he had on socks with some type of like sandal, like not
Birkenstocks.
maybe like some Birkenstocks or something like
Crocs.
that, but like the black, like the different material, like plastic more so. It wasn't like a leather material, I don't think. But
the Yeezy slides.
it might have been Yeezy slides.
Or the Greene.
Matter of fact, no. So the ones with the two straps. So it couldn't have been Yeezy slides. It was like some type of sandal with two straps, and it could have been Birkenstocks.
Oh, the two strap.
Yeah.
So it was like, I know what you're talking. Was it like Velcro and shit?
Might have been.
Yeah, it might have been the Suikos.
Could have been.
Yeah.
But bro, like the
They're
fit.
Japanese slides.
And he also had on like a fucking like maybe like a satchel or like a crossbody bag or something. But I was just like, yo, this nigga looks cool as shit. Like I fucks with this fit, and and it was like inspiring to the point where I was like, yo, I want to do like loungewear because I think like I don't think people are really rocking it like that, but like I feel like that could be like because I'm really into comfort. And,
cozy over everything.
Yeah.
Cozy first thing on your mind.
Yeah.
Then everything else comes next. You feel me?
Yeah.
And that's how you do when you select clothes and you wear whatever you
Mm-hmm.
want. It's like cozy. But sometimes you can wear shit that's uncozy, but at a rare occasion, you feel me? Not forcing the shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so what's up? You had this active wear. So like what
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
I forgot the shit in the car. I'm gonna bring it.
Oh,
bring it
alright.
up when we
Say
finish
less.
it. But
Say less.
yeah, so it was kind of like I'm sort of in and out with it, but I wanted to do clothing that was affordable and also comfortable, and I'm also like really into like minimalism, but
Same.
I'm into what's the word like usage. What's a good word for that? Like using things as what it's for. Like I don't know why I'm like slipping on the word, but pretty much like I'm really damn, what's
like
the word? Yo? Oh snap, I don't know what that was. I think it might have been a TV or something. But
Oh shit.
but yo,
The Bluetooth.
okay, but yo, I cannot think of what the word is. But pretty much like I want to make clothes that like people can wear like on a daily basis that are just like hella like
Essentials.
yeah, exactly, just like exactly like essentials, just some shit that you can just throw on and you can wear this shit daily and it's just good quality. It's just simple, you know what I mean? And that was what like I was going with it, but yeah, I just haven't been putting as much focus into it.
No, I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes you just like your mind like strays away from it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's still in the like back of your head, you know. And people like ask you like, when are you coming out with this, or like have you been thinking about new ideas? Like when am I getting that shit, yo?
Yeah.
Like, but your mind's somewhere else. But it doesn't mean that you don't like care about it. You just at the point in time you just take a break. Like sometimes you just need that break with shit.
Yeah.
And it's the most peaceful shit because you don't have to like running your own business is not easy at all.
Yeah, for real though. And it's so hard now, it seems, to get the like exposure, especially like when you don't like you got to meet the right people and like get it into like a certain crowd, I guess, in order for it to get like a certain recognition. In order to, for it to be able to sell, it just seems, to me, it seems like it's hard to just get it out there. You know what I mean? I wanted to ask you though, have you ever considered like collaborating on anything?
Yeah, definitely. I collaborated on like, it was like a print book with my friend James. We made it for one of our friends.
You fuck with loungewear, yo?
Yeah, I fuck with
Want
loungewear.
to collab on some loungewear?
Let's collab on some loungewear. What you talking about? Alright,
Let's do that
say
shit.
less.
Let's collab on some loungewear, yo.
We're gonna talk about it, blueprint and all.
Yeah,
More,
okay.
more consultations, you feel me?
Yeah, because I've also been in contact with like, I fuck with Alibaba, yo. Have you used Alibaba?
I haven't used Alibaba
Yeah.
yet, but I know the use of Alibaba. Like I know how like much shit you can get off of LA Rock.
Yeah, so these pants, right, they're fairly like good quality, but I sent them the like length and shit that I wanted on them, and then just the pants, and then I also have like a sort of like a t-shirt, and it's the same material, and so I sent them like pretty much the idea for like how I wanted it to look and everything, and they sent me this shit back, and I'm like, damn, this is pretty good. So
decent, yeah.
I think if we could probably draw some shit out and like send it to them too, and then we could
say less. Yeah, I got a couple like logos laying around. That
yeah.
Like, yeah.
That,
okay. That's some
good.
Nice colorways to like go on.
That fucks with that. But shit, what was we? I feel like I was going into something else, and I think we had like jumped a little bit. I think we was talking about like staying up to par with like getting up to like updated with the latest shit. Like I think that's what we was getting. Into.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, and that's what I was gonna say. So I think, and I was talking about this to somebody else, but just it seems that now there is no like standard, I guess, when it comes to what is fashionable. Like, well, there's some sort of like
there's a wide range.
Yeah, there's a wide range of like what you can put on, but I do feel like there might be like certain things where it's like that's still not like all that. You know what I mean? Like
certain
it's
codes
still,
or
there's certain stuff that you can't do, but it's like it's really
for codes.
Yeah, but like it's crazy because like you fit right, like you're not like matching right now, like matchy, but it's still like there's like little things that just subtly like just blend together, so it's like just like a perfect like.
I look like I'm Hawaiian or something. You know, like monotone and shit. Like,
yeah, nah, that shit is tough as hell.
Appreciate it.
Hold on, my bad, bro. I gotta.
You good?
So. Hold on. So you from Baltimore originally?
Yeah.
Okay. In like the city?
I'm from the city. I'm from like the Avenue.
Yeah. What
Avenue like in Mondawmin, like
I know.
was back and forth from my dad was from the Avenue, and my mom's like from Forest Park, like right by the mall.
Yeah. How do you feel like your upbringing has brought, like, how did you get to, like, I don't want to say how did you get to where you are, but how did your upbringing separate you from like what's typical coming out of Baltimore? Or have you thought of that, like, or like like is there anything that you can like pinpoint, I guess?
I mean, I think it just had to do with school.
Yeah.
At some point, so after I went to Gwynns Falls Elementary School.
Gwynns Falls, is that like a charter? Or?
No, it's just a regular public school. That's where I went for elementary school. It's like right next to Mondawmin, like
okay.
Right there. Are you familiar with that area at all?
Not really.
Okay.
Like I know a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
if you passed, you probably passed it before. Realistically, you just didn't know.
Yeah.
But my mother, she put me in a private middle school after that, St. Ignatius, and that was an all-boys school. It was like on Calvert Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that predominantly black?
All black.
All black, yeah. But it was like more, I guess, proper black. I guess.
It was a Catholic school.
Okay. Yeah.
So it was like a church and Catholic school. So it was like regular teachers and shit like that. It was a cool time, honestly.
Yeah.
It was like there's a lot of like discipline. You feel me? Like so it kind of like I got some of my discipline from them because I would have to be up really early, like 5, 6 a.m. to get to school.
Yeah.
And it was like ridiculous. Like be here at 6:30. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's the start of that, and then I left there and I went to Calvert Hall.
Okay.
Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, I know Calvert Hall.
Yeah. I went to Calvert Hall and I went there for 2 years.
And then you transferred to city?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And that's why I met you.
Yeah.
And I went to city for junior year, senior year.
Yeah.
I think that transition in high school from schools, big difference. That's why going back to just schools, like that was a change. Like me being around these people or me meeting these people.
Mm-hmm.
Like from Calverhall to city was a big change.
Yeah.
Like
how'd you feel? My bad.
Yeah, you good.
I was just gonna say, how did you feel that transition? Like how was that coming into city? Like, was it easy? You know, just blend, like, you know, mixing, making friends and shit like that, or like did you?
I knew like a good amount of people actually
already
going into city.
Yeah.
Which was crazy. Like not that many people, but because I knew people from living where I was living on the Alameda, so that's why I knew like people that went to city.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't that like standalone-ish, you know.
Yeah.
And it was easy to blend in with people. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's my people, like people from around the block and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it was just cool though. And then I was, you know, or you think IB?
A little bit. I wasn't
AP
full IB.
class?
I was taking IB and AP classes, but I wasn't.
I wasn't full IB.
Yeah. Nah.
Those guys, full IB guys, you're out there. Yo, that's hard as shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of dedication to do.
Yeah, I wasn't committing to that.
Yeah.
Much work. I was like, can't do that shit.
But yeah, because I asked that because you have a different. You got a different like vibe, you know what I mean, than like and I don't want to like bash, you know, Baltimore, but there's a certain like, and this is, you know, of course it's cultural, it's like social constructs, I guess, whatever you want to call it, but there's a certain structure, and it might not necessarily just be Baltimore, it might be just like the black community to an extent, like there's certain things that you can and can't do, there's certain like structures as far as like what you like, how much you can explore when it comes to fashion, even like you speak proper. I mean, not proper, but like you know,
it's like the discipline. Like like in schools, like that's where the proper, like me speaking proper came from.
Yeah, exactly. So like that's why I was like really just getting that. Like,
shit's crazy.
It's crazy that like just that like, you know, that difference in schooling can just bring you.
It's fucking true. Like because a lot of times like. Say you go to like all public schools, like all 8 years school. It's like sometimes like there's a lot of weaving in and weaving out of people. You feel me? Like you never know what people are doing. Like coming up, like you be confused. You feel me? Eventually, like what the fuck happened to him? Or like shit. It's crazy though. Like niggas everybody was on one like back then. You feel me? So it's a lot of like. Some people that you thought you were going to be friends with, no longer friends with. And you truly thought you were going to be friends with them for a good, and then you moved or something like that.
Yeah. For real though. It's like such
it's a change for real. But that you got to learn to live with that. That's just life. Like, like you're not going to be friends with every single person. Yeah.
So for me, I went to Gardenville. And that's Bel Air Road. So Bel Air Road and Frankfurt Avenue. It's like an Aldi right there, and I think they just like it's a Planet Fitness like right across the street. You might, I don't know, but it's East Baltimore.
I don't know. Yeah.
So I went to Gardenville, and that was like a public school. So that was like my first, you know, that was my connection. So that was like my main experience, I guess, when it comes to like that exposure to like this group. Yeah, exactly. So I know a lot of the guys that I'm still cool with to this day, and a lot of guys that like have been like, you know, lost to the streets, like that they like I've known them like pretty much from Gardenville. And or just like connections, like sort of people that I know that, you know, like these people know these people. Then I went to Roland Park, and
Roland Park what?
I went to Roland Park like middle, not the like
middle.
Yeah.
So you know all like mad people from like the white people and shit from city.
I know. Yeah. I knew a few of them from Roland Park.
Okay. Who went to Roland Park?
But I know, you know Josh Ayers, right?
Yeah. That's
So
the guy.
yeah, so I know Josh and like know him and like it's a beautiful
Yeah, we only have that for everybody. It's hella niggas, bro.
Yeah, but so going to Roland Park, I was in advanced academics, so that was like so they had ingenuity, which was like the advanced, and then there was advanced academics, and then there was like regular ed classes, I guess, like regular education classes, general classes.
Yeah.
So you had to get like certain scores on like these little tests to get in that.
Interesting. So it was like standardized testing to like get you up.
To get you into
That's
certain
crazy.
ones.
It's a crazy educational system, man.
Bro, yes. Now that you say that, like I've been thinking about the same thing. Just as far as it's almost like segregation to some extent. Like when you look at if I go back and I look at Roland Park, or if I look at City, how many? So let's talk since we both went to City. How many like what was the what do you say the demographic was in IB and AP versus like who was just taking general classes? What would you say the demographic was?
It's a crazy demographic. It's a crazy demographic. Like the class, that's what it. Like sometimes like niggas like flack you for like being friends with certain people, but it's like these are the people who I was around, like, and I'm just trying to be comfortable. You feel me? And be cool, like
just be yourself, like
I'm trying. You feel me? Befriend these niggas. I'm trying to help me with the class. You feel me? And see what's up with you.
And they the ones that are
they be really
and they gonna push you
those are people that be getting like top 10 in the whole class and shit.
Yeah.
OD.
Exactly.
And I'm like, these niggas are not like, they don't have common sense, like, but they book smart like a bitch.
Yeah.
They're on deck.
But where I was getting to though too was, so my bad. I'm gonna go to this first. There was one dude, Eric. He was the pretty much like the valedictorian of our class.
City?
Yeah, not us. Cause wait, you 2015, right? Yeah, I'm 2014.
So Eric,
his name was Eric. I don't remember his last name. But he played soccer though. I think he played soccer. But I think he's like working on his like or his medical, like he's becoming a doctor or some shit like that. But bro, he was smart as hell, and like he was one of those people. So it was like I watched Social Network, right? And then I started like wanting to be like, I was talking to him more, and like he was so driven and so just into studying. Like we had chemistry together, and I would come to chemistry, and he would be like, "Bro, did you study? We got a quiz today." And it was just like something so simple as just asking somebody, "Did you study?" You know what I mean?
Like actually caring.
Yeah, exactly. And that was like a driver almost. So it was like, damn, like I got a friend that's like checking up to make sure that that I'm doing it. Shit. And that like, so I actually started doing more simply because I was like, yo, this nigga like is smart as shit. But I was like, yo, I'm just as smart
as him, but I'm
you know what I mean? I'm lazy.
So it's like that clicks.
Yeah, so I'm like, yo, let me pick up on some shit that he's doing, and let me like try. Let me put in some effort to be like where I feel like he is versus to where I am.
Yeah.
And I got into reading. I think like just off of that, like just that just wanting to sort of be like in that like space, I guess. But I was just gonna get to the fact that like the demographic as far as IB versus the general classes, it was like white people, you know what I mean? Like I won't say most, like it was mostly white.
It was like white, just colored people.
Yeah, exactly.
And like
it was
foreign people.
Yeah, but it was like a few of them scattered in like the general in the general. To me, this is my perception.
Okay. Good.
So in IB, it was like mostly predominantly like white, I guess, and also like maybe like a few like different races. But then in general ed classes, it seemed like that was like predominantly like just black. You didn't?
No,
get
for
that?
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And then there were like white people scattered.
Yeah, exactly. They were scattered.
Of course, because there was a good amount of people out there, like and like city in general. But like it was just, I think, what is it? IB classes were like more close knit. Like they were always short. They weren't like really big.
That's true
or
too.
something.
Yeah.
So,
They were, bro. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
As far as like, it was also like
It was
almost
like a
like
smaller
intimate.
classroom.
Yeah, it was
and
like
shit
more of
that.
an intimate classroom. I took History of Americas with Miss Hodges,
Okay.
and that was it was like maybe like 10 of us in the class versus like like 25 or some shit like that. So it was like we could just sit down and discuss like what we were talking, like what we were
intimately,
reading,
yeah,
and just like
crazy,
just dive in and stuff.
And you had to really. Like it's like you can't
to.
really be lacking because like everybody can see you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah, for real.
You're mad close, and it like
Yeah.
if you are lacking or like
Bro.
whatever, niggas will say something because
Yeah.
like say the projector's on or some shit like
Yep.
that. Oh, like they'll call like on your name or some shit like that, or some hopefully your friend next to you
Yeah.
tap you like yo get up or whatever, but. You get tested a lot in like
Yeah,
IB
exactly,
classes.
and that's what I was about to say too.
Pop
Like
quizzes, like
exactly, and if you we had like assigned readings, so it was pretty much
Yeah.
you come to class and
You
we'll
have to
have a
have
discussion.
yeah.
So they'll call on you
Yep.
and immediately they know like, oh, this nigga.
That's
ain't
what
read.
happened with me.
This
Fuck,
nigga did
yeah,
not read.
this nigga did not read,
Yeah.
yo. We know it. He's like, yo, you read the shit?
Yeah.
Ask the nigga next to you. You like, nah.
Yeah.
You ask like the girl next to you, and she's like, yeah, like let me tell you right shit. And you try to get a brief shit, and then sometimes you barely.
Yep.
For me, once thin ice, and you like,
Yeah.
gosh, you're like,
And
okay.
the difference though in what we were reading though, like I remember reading about maybe like was it Mao Zedong? Was that one of the leaders in China or something like that at the Communist Party? But it was just the fact that we were reading these like research from like
Intense books.
intense study, bro, and it was just like this is so different from what we were reading
Doing.
in these other classes.
For sure.
And I was going to get into the fact that when I was at Rowan Park, it was similar. So in ingenuity, predominantly white. Advanced academics, it was more mixed. It was like, I feel like it was like half and half, but then once you get down to general, it was predominantly black.
Mm.
So it's like, that's what I was getting to as far as just like education, as far, like it almost feels, it feels segregated to an extent when it comes to what people are into. And that just stems down to, it's fucked up because you can't necessarily.
Some people don't even get a chance.
That's what I'm saying, exactly. That's exactly what I was about to get to. Because if you think about, a lot of people, they'll say, you can pick yourself up by your bootstraps and you can get to wherever, and that's possible. But there's some people that don't even have the basic needs in order to like get that structure, in order to then get to this point where they're like, yeah, I can pass this class. I go home, my mom's, on drugs or some shit like that. Or like, you coming into like these crazy chaotic environments, and then you go into the class and it's like, you expecting me to do this. So then it's just slowly a separation. So it's like, you go into this school, separate them, and then it's just like slowly just getting to that point. So it's just like, the opportunities is,
Exactly. The opportunities are endless until you make, like, you may not think of it as you being a kid, but those decisions are huge decisions. Like complete, like that will change the scope of your life. Like, and people may or may not like think that, but like your school system is dead ass. It can change your fucking life. It's ridiculous.
Bro,
like your network and shit like that.
But if you don't know that, you can't even take the advantage of those opportunities.
Exactly.
Like I feel if I'd have known what you just said earlier on, like in middle school, like if I had that, like just, and no like shame on like my parents and that shit, no shit like that. But just like as far as just information, getting that information, I feel like if I had more of an understanding of how important it was and what I needed to be doing in order to get to like certain spaces, like I would have put more effort into it. But it was just like I didn't know
either.
Yeah.
The school, like, it's just like I said, it started with middle school. The school just like a rep for the school came into our school, was like hey, like there's a flyer for the school. Some people balled it up, threw it in the trash. Fuck that shit. I'm not going to no all boys school.
Yep.
My mom was like, oh, this may be interesting. Like sign off on the shit. Took a tour. got in that bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Set off from there.
Yeah.
And everybody that went to that middle school went to like a private high school, I think.
So I was talking about your experiences coming up in Baltimore and how it sort of made you the way that you are now, and because you are very different from what's typical in Baltimore.
The norm, yeah.
Yeah, and so what I wanted to also talk about, and we were talking about this sort of on the phone, I wanted to talk about that, like why is that so, and is that just like that the difference between like you, the way that you I guess your upbringing, like the way that the way that you get your education, and also your interest in art and shit like that, like why is it that, and because I wanted to use that to transition into I'm gonna just let you know like, where I'm going at it, but what we were talking about yesterday as far as art being not the art community in Baltimore is like, I don't feel like there's that much of a support, I guess, or like there's not that much
it's a upbringing, like right now, like it's like you see the movement.
It is.
It's getting crazy. People are acknowledging that, like, more than it was before.
That's true. But what about experimenting though? So like, bro, like the dude, I think you took some pics with him. What's his name? Like Butch Dawson or something like that. Like his style is like like completely like out of the the norm, I guess, for
unique,
West Baltimore.
For West Baltimore, nigga, yeah.
So like I guess like do you feel he's supported though? Like, is he supported by Baltimore, or is he supported?
I think he's definitely he's definitely supported by Baltimore.
Yeah,
like, not just the art community.
Yeah, okay.
Because people like recognize him and people know the nigga from just being in the city type shit. So, the nigga has a lot of support, bro. Not just in Baltimore. You feel me? Other places as well.
Yeah.
But
right, and I was just wondering, like, what is it that causes us to be so constricted, I guess that's the best word to use, constricted to these certain like norms, I guess, that so that we aren't allowed to verge out, and that's like a deep ass question that you probably got to reflect on. Yeah.
This nigga got me fucked up. I don't know. I think it's just like experimenting. You feel me? Are you saying like what like correlates or like what deviates one person from the other, like being different type shit?
What I'm thinking more of the support of it. So
like the support level from people?
Say like, I'm gonna give you an example. So I create a brand, right? And my clothing brand isn't necessarily the swag of Baltimore. So, and I mean, and like you saying now, Baltimore, like the style in Baltimore is definitely just it's starting to open up more to like different styles and stuff like that. But I guess like I don't even know how to like frame it the right way. I just feel like, okay, so you take this brand, but then this brand versus that brand. So you have a brand that's like sort of the like hood swag almost, but then you got a brand that's like not so, it's more just like streetwear, but it's like there's no validation within this brand. I feel like this person is going to be more supported than this person. Like this hood, what? Yeah, the hood brand is going to be more like the hood streetwear brand is going to be more supported than the different streetwear brand.
Yeah, like locally.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah,
you feel me? Like they'll get a widespread like connection with so many people. You'll see so many people wearing like the Y brand or some shit like that. Like it's a lot of brands that have that shit. But it's like, it's cool. Like, niggas fuck with like the sweatsuits and shit like that. Shit is valid.
Yeah, definitely.
But just more people populated over there like that have that type of taste level versus like us or whatever.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
You feel me? That's just like what deviates.
For what causes that taste level though? That's because it's like for me and you, right? Like we're thinking we're on the same page as far as like what's cool, like what's like the variety, the diversity, and like what you can like put on as a fit versus like what's like the taste level in like locally. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nah, like I said, it's just experimenting. Like some people don't like experimenting shit.
Yeah, and
like just being around people and just seeing shit or just looking at shit for what it is. Like you're saying earlier, like you look at shit for what it is.
And that's what I wanted to talk about. So what is that fear though? What does that fear spawn from? You think?
It's just like
the fear
of like humiliation.
Yeah. And yeah, so why can't we do it? Like, why can't I go out right now with some sandals with no socks on, bro, and you know what I mean, and like just be like, just do what I want.
The norm is like like your local norm, like you feel me, in Baltimore, you feel me, like what's cool to wear and what's not cool to wear,
bro. Yo, this is crazy shit, but like now I'm thinking about. I took an IB class at City, anthropology.
I know you did, yeah.
Yeah. Wait, we weren't. Did you take anthropology?
Okay, who was the teacher? Did you take any IB English?
I took anthropology.
Did you take AP History?
I took.
What?
I took
IB.
I took IB. That was History of Americas. That was the class that I took, and this was probably, I think, senior year. I think I started taking like more.
Were you there all 4 years?
Yeah. No, I wasn't. I actually transferred in sophomore year.
So the same as me. Well, no, you transferred into sophomore.
Yeah, into sophomore. Yeah. I went to Baltimore School for the Arts. That's how. Also, that's how I learned.
Oh shit! Yeah. So you were plugged in. See, you ain't talking about that. Man. What the hell? You trying to fucking weave that up?
Bro, I completely forgot.
I completely forgot where I went for school. Yeah, I ain't like shit, bro. Hey, get this nigga, man. This nigga.
So.
Yeah, honor.
So I did.
He's lying.
I did Twigs. I forgot
That's
about
tough.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did Twigs for visual arts, and so I had like got the like training, I guess, like with Twigs, like as far
I
as
tried to get into that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You try to get into Twigs, for real? And
yeah, I was percussion or whatever. I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you playing instrument?
Yeah.
Damn. That's tough.
And then I don't think I got into that shit, but continue. That's Peabody, right? No, Twigs, or are you talking about?
Twigs is through BSA.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was going there like after school, and I think they also had something like on Saturdays or some shit like that at a point.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's pretty much taking like an extra class outside of like elementary and middle school. They had it. Okay. So it's kind of like almost like an after school program type shit. So
yeah, I'm hip.
Hip. So I did that. So I went to BSA, and this is also, this relates to what we're talking about now. Well, what we were just talking about as far as the constructs of Baltimore. Mm-hmm. So my experience, when I got to BSA, I was still on like some hood shit. Like I was like, I want to hang with my niggas. I want to play football.
Always, yeah.
I want to be, outside.
Out on the block,
just going whatever.
Yeah. During the daytime.
Exactly.
All the time.
So I did, and it was also my perception of BSA. Mm-hmm. It was so open to different lifestyles or different creative styles. Different.
It's people, like you're saying, like inspiration, like people, like you're inspired by people. Mm-hmm. You may not like always admit that, but like being around these people, seeing these people do that shit.
I wasn't inspired. Really? I was uncomfortable.
Really?
Yeah. So
True. MBSA.
Yeah. So okay. I was at a point where I think I was afraid of it. So I was really standoffish. So. In the podcast where I was talking to Aaron, I think I talked to him about like I had mentioned the fact that he was like he was my first friend at BSA, okay. And it was the fact that he approached me while I was at lunch, so I'm like wearing fucking ski mask, hoodie on. You know, 'cause it was the point where ski mask. I think that was my freshman year. Ski mask was like cool
ski
as
mask
shit.
on at lunch.
Just
Are you
like
serious?
chilling, just fucking hoodie up.
What the fuck is you?
But not like over the face, you know, like tucked under, you know what I'm saying? fucking black hoodie, just looking wild as shit, polo boots, like just like kinda just ducked off to the side, bro.
Yo went through that phase.
Yeah, exactly. So
You said ski mask, hoodie, black hoodie. Yo, it's crucial.
so I'm chilling and I'm just like, yo, like fuck these people. Like I don't know these niggas. Like these niggas, they ain't about their life, yo. These niggas, like I ain't about to be cool with these niggas. But Aaron had approached me. He was like, yo, like what's up, man? Like what you up to? Like why you over here by yourself? Yo, you don't gotta sit over there. So it actually even took me a minute to like get comfortable with them, because there was a point where it was like. So he had approached me. And I was like, yeah, what's up? So I sat over there with him. Then it might have been like the next day. I might have sat by myself again. And then he was like, yo, like, come over here, yo. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to go over there. Okay. So it was like a gradual thing where it was like, all right, I slowly like, got cool with Aaron. And I also, I hope he don't watch this one. But I also feel like I had some sort of like influence to him as far as like what was cool, because the coolness in Baltimore, it has a certain like pull where like if you're exposed to it, if you know it, even if you're from like if you're not from Baltimore City, like if you're from like the outskirts, you still have some of that like pull if you're on like social media. So it's like I still want to like be seen as if I'm related to this, you know, environment, although I might not be from that that specific experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like I might have sort of influenced Aaron to an extent, like as far as like getting into that, like into that style, like that lifestyle to an extent. So like it was like I think he had started like rocking, you know, just like certain clothes and shit like that I was rocking, like you know what I mean, and like just being like trying to like get cool with these certain people. Yeah, exactly. But he also influenced me in order to get comfortable, in order to, you know.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like back to like being like experimenting, like
you
like with people, you feel me? Like you take that leap. Like, you may not fuck with it or whatever, but you guys see like what's up. Eventually, like I said, that shit is life changing. You may not think of it in the grand scheme of things when you're in that moment. Like, but that decision is like, if you would have taken another path, you don't know where you could have gone.
That's true.
And it's those small fucking interactions that you will, as you're older, you'll understand. Like, damn, like I wonder what I would have did if I didn't.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
Befriend this person.
That's so true. That's hella true, bro. Because when I got cool with Aaron, and so we started hanging out like outside of school as well. So that was also just like I found that I had a friend that was safe. You know what I mean? Like my other friends, they like fucking out just fighting and shit like that, just out like just doing dumb shit. You know, causing problems. Exactly. But love
to do that, yeah.
But going back to that, so because I was so uncomfortable at BSA, and it was just like I did make a few friends while I was at BSA, like Aaron, Shaq, Josh, like all of them. But Avon too. But I was still uncomfortable with like just BSA in general. Like it just wasn't really like
the school.
It wasn't something about it. So that's what happened. I was like
the people.
Yeah, and I was just like, this just wasn't. And I just wasn't open to it. I think that was really the main thing. I just didn't allow myself to, open up to it.
So did you go to any of those parties? Like, were there any parties like your freshman year? You know?
I'm sure it was.
Did they go to any parties? Like Aaron and all them? Do you know? Probably whatever.
I feel like that was definitely it was parties, because it was like this girl named Marsha and I think like Farrar. There was a few people there. I think
a lot of
parties.
Yeah, it was a lot of that scene, like bro, the art scene. Them niggas were experimental as shit. Like their parents had tough cribs and shit like that. Yeah, but I just wasn't, and that's crazy. Yeah. That could have opened me up to so much more shit, but like I wasn't even in that, in the mindset at the time to do it. BSA was a high school, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. And yeah, so when I got to city, it's wild because I got to city thinking that I was gonna fit in with, you know, like I don't know how to, the Baltimore, the Baltimorean. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought I was gonna fit in with that, but then I found that I didn't necessarily relate to them as much as I related to Earn and Shaq and all of the artsy people that I met at BSA. And then I was like, oh shit, like what is this? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm
what's
thinking
the difference?
that,
Yeah, like,
I'm thinking like
wait a minute.
I can't have the same conversation. So like I would sit at the table because I played football at City my sophomore year.
Okay,
I played
tough.
JV, and so while I was playing, like I know all of the I know all of the people that play football. So I'm sitting in the crowds with the people that play football, but I wasn't talking as much because it was just like I couldn't necessarily gauge the conversations that they were having because it was just like there wasn't too much of a connection. Yeah. But when I would sit with, Ryan, you remember Ryan, Anthony.
I know Anthony.
Ryan, but pretty much like sitting with them, they were like more artsy, more like explorative or creative. So
yeah.
I felt more comfortable having those conversations with them.
Yeah.
So it was just like, at City was like, oh shit, like
City was
whole
like,
time this was what what it was.
So you feel like City was the life changing?
City definitely. I think that was when I finally found that like space.
Niche,
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And I was like, okay, but like this is. I've started to figure out like who I was. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, what
exactly.
I was.
I feel like I didn't figure out who I was. I just got it like exposed to who other people were.
Yeah.
And like people more so in the inner city and what they were up to.
Mm-hmm.
It was fucking crazy. Like when
Yeah.
seeing what these people did or whatever, or seeing their lives or seeing how they act in school. Like niggas would skip class. You feel me? You skip class at all? You never
Once at
skip
BSA,
class.
yo.
You didn't skip class at City?
Nope.
You never left class.
Nah.
Yo, this nigga went to every single class.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I've been that way, yo. As far as like just, I've been on. I haven't been like when it comes to school, I stayed, I stayed within the rule book, you know what I mean? But like outside of school, I did sort of like, I did shit.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, when it came to school, like I was just like, I went to all my classes. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I might have like go to the bathroom or some shit and like talk to some people.
You never like,
but never like.
So, like that Charles Village area, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you like never like left to go get food there or nothing like that.
Nah, yo, you did
Wow,
that.
yeah, niggas would do that shit. Bro.
I didn't know niggas was doing that shit.
Niggas is doing, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
It's the people that, it was mainly the niggas that were in like IB classes doing this shit because they were like, they lived in that area type shit, like Roland Park area, like in that, like legit, like lived mad close, like what else? Montpellier, not Montpellier, Montebello, shit like that. So the niggas just knew the area and shit like that.
That's crazy. And then on top of that, like the workload, like I feel like they probably just needed that fucking break, doing full IB and shit like that. They probably was just like, yo, they was on a different, like freedom. Like they was almost like that's college. It's like, I need that, just be like, let me get out. Yeah, let me get out of this shit. That's crazy.
The thing was like, half the time, like the teachers wouldn't even be tripping crazy.
Yeah.
Because like, there would be like certain days where like most niggas won't even go to the class. You feel me? That would happen in IB classes sometimes.
Crazy. Yeah.
You feel me? Because like niggas would have like a crazy workload like within the whole like community, like in the class and shit like that, and niggas would have to take a day off. But like sometimes they'll be like, class is optional.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Yeah.
That happens sometimes. You feel me? Where it's like,
that's hella freedom.
It's hella freedom. It's like college supposed to be like
college.
college.
Yeah, that's hella college. Like that's hella like.
Because like they would give us days off to study for shit.
Damn.
That's how intense the shit was.
Yeah. Instagram at a point like, was you working at like a country club or something like that, or like? I was just gonna say that like you live an interesting life, yo. So like the amount of
just like the
range
opportunity
that you have, yeah.
Like it's just the opportunity, like experimenting, like all these like miniature like opportunities or like these like decisions were like blessed upon me by like other people. Like it's kind of like the guidance of whoever was like the big life changing, I guess, decision maker of your life, if you understand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so like I said, the elementary school, like the middle school to elementary school thing, like someone like was guiding me, which was my mother and shit like that, and like whatever that rep was good guidance and shit like that to actually take a chance and go to that middle school. And then the same thing for like going for the country club. So when I was in middle school, like that like guidance and like advisory or whatever from those people in my middle school was like really intense. Like they still keep up with me now.
Damn, that's what's up. Jeez.
Like that leadership and shit like that was like very serious. Like I salute that school. Like I told you, the discipline and like the guidance for that shit, it's insane.
Yeah.
Like I said, they still keep up with like what is till this day. It's called like graduate like support program. So like we can go to them with shit. Like sometimes they'll help us out. Like they'll give us opportunities type things. So
yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
That's tough, yo. I want to have that same like level
it's like
of
a support like system.
Yeah.
And like that was their whole mission, to support like like young men or whatever.
Yeah.
Like between
I don't know, like I guess this would probably be
you can
the
see
best.
right there, bro.
Yeah. Make sure we get both of y'all in there.
I like the feeling. Coming in the crib, seeing production.
yeah.
That's what we do. That's what we do here. Absolutely.
A little bit. I appreciate you even allowing us to use the space, bro.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
This is great, man.
Definitely. What y'all been talking about?
Fashion, a lot of talk about fashion and also
like a lot of like upbringing shit, but just like influence. We were also talking about like the art scene in like Baltimore and shit like that.
Man, that's a lot to say.
Where you from?
I'm from DC.
Yeah.
DC. And
How'd you get up to Baltimore? Was school? Or?
yeah.
Yeah.
School, man. I got to back in 2017. I got into Morgan, and then I transferred to Towson. So as soon as I got to Towson, I was like, all right, cool. Well, I was already living here at Morgan. I'm like, all right, now we on campus. You know what I'm saying? Because Morgan is campus, of course. Shout out to Morgan. But like, I wanted to get the full, diverse college experience.
Bro,
exactly.
That's because at the end of the day, like I mean, and I'll probably if I decide to get my master's, I'm gonna probably go to my home school, Howard. You know what I mean? My HBCU. Just because at the highest of levels, I want to show that love to our people.
Yeah, that's what's up.
You know what I mean? I think that's more prestigious. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like your master's at, you know what I mean, Morehouse, or you know what I mean? Like that's as a black man, that's like respect. You know what I mean?
Bro.
Bachelor's, you can go fucking, you can go to Duke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know, you can go to the whitest schools of all time.
Yeah, bro.
And be the only nigga there. You know what I'm saying?
I want to get into two things, so I want to remind me which one. Two things. So one that you was talking about as far as like getting the diverse experience going to Towson, but then the other thing is that what you talking about as far as like just the importance of us supporting or like getting our degrees from HBCUs.
Yeah.
I don't know which one we should. We could go back to the Towson thing. So diversity, because that's what we was also just.
Yeah, I went to Towson as well.
Yeah, I met him at Towson. We lived together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like family right now, and then our circles are all like pretty much a team. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm at the end of the day, first and foremost, before I touched down here, since I was probably 12, 13, I've been a rapper, I've been an artist.
Yeah.
You know, I started writing then, I started recording as a teenager. And I even, like my first records on wax were done overseas.
Yeah.
I was in high school, you know what I'm saying? I went over there with my parents, you know what I mean? They moved overseas. When I was in high school, I'm the youngest, so they took my black ass with them.
Yeah.
They were like, nigga, we ain't leaving you out here at the DMV. You gonna act up. We gonna get that phone call that, you know what I'm saying, nigga, we got locked or some, dumb shit. So I had a strict father with that, but and just because of my older brothers just being in the streets and doing what they did, you know what I mean? So they wanted to make sure I was good. And I loved the experience. So I was out there, bro, and I was on the radio out there, doing interviews and shit, talking about the DMV out there, you know what I mean, being in high school, knocking shorties down, and woo, had to throw that in there, and just being a young buck, right? But music, bro. My name is Mvss. That's really what brought me here. Is school to network, school to like get to the next level. Not just from a corporate, you gotta go to school to do it. No,
That's what I was just talking about earlier, bro. I said school, bro. And school is that life-changing shit. Like, people may not understand that or admit that, but like, you can say you didn't like school, you can say fuck school, all that, but end of the day, where you were in school, like your environment, your group, where you were chilling around them niggas influenced you the most.
You are what, 50% or something. What was it? What's the saying? You are like 75% of the people that you spend the most time around, something like that. What's the saying?
That's a good saying.
No, it is.
I never heard that.
That's true. That's
something around that, but pretty much like so much influence just as far as like
what inspired me. I have parents that I have educated parents. You know what I mean? So they went to school themselves. So obviously, you have siblings that didn't, siblings that did. Yeah. So when it was my decision to go to school, it was a lot of things that brought me here. Loss, you know what I'm saying? People that, expected me to do great things in life that were no longer here. I felt responsible for now. Like, damn, like, giving more of a purpose for life, you know what I mean? Like my mom, you know what I mean? Losing my mom way before years ago, you know what I'm saying? And just having that on my mind, like, okay. I came here, when I met Rock, like, he knows. I was already, I knew exactly who the fuck I was. You know what I mean? Most people are in their 20s or everyone's trying to figure shit out. Like, I knew who I was at a very young age, but like when I came here to meet these like fam, you know what I'm saying, and Baltimore become my second home, like I knew exactly who the fuck I was as an artist. I knew what I wanted, you know what I mean? I knew why I was here. I wasn't just in school to party and figure shit out. Like I was here, communications degree, one of my inspirations was Cole, you know what I'm saying? Help yourself. You want to drink? It's our own little drink champs. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Espelon. You know what I'm saying? Let me stop. But you know what I'm saying? Cole was one of the people too. Just in my lane as an artist. You know what I mean? As a writer, as a creator, that inspired me to get my degree because he's like my big brother in a sense. He's like the same age as my older brothers too, and to see him prosper as an artist in the last 10 years. He's a veteran now. Like, he's amongst, you mentioned the top names of hip hop history. He's in that Hall of Fame now. He's earned that. And he got his fucking diploma. You know what I'm saying? Like, before anything, this nigga was literally like all of us. Left his home state, went to another state, New York. You know what I mean? Went to a great school. Diverse school as well.
Nigga could have been
he could have did whatever, you know what I mean? Obviously he's, whatever, but from where he's from, like, he could have just, you already know. So he went out to New York and he made use of it. Like, he networked, he got his shit together, and that shit carried him a long way because he was like, bro, like, the type of respect that you get, especially at this stage in the industry, for being more than just an artist and just being multifaceted, like, that shit. It's like, it's weight. You know what I mean? And
that also connects though, like, as far as the range. So that's what we was talking about as far as the being able to be in a diverse crowd, being able to like have, those different connections. I ain't even pulling nothing up. Y'all go ahead.
I'll pull for you.
But being able to, like, we were talking about going to Towson, or like, I feel like I wasn't as because I went to Morgan, so I wasn't as exposed to, that experience because
the college life.
I didn't get that full on, that full effect.
That American Pie shit. I'm trying to tell you. What? You know what I'm saying? That frat boy shit.
Well, but also just like the different work ethics, the different like mindsets, like different experiences. You know what I mean? Like, you can have so much more exposure by going to like because we're used to like what we know, you know what I mean? Like we know we know black people, but we don't necessarily know all of the like different cultural like what nuances or whatever, or like, you know, like how to handle yourself in these scenarios because we don't, you know, have that much exposure.
Yeah, you were there for the protests. You just take a toast right here, and you know what I'm saying, it's a toast to diversity, and you know,
For real.
for sure. You were there at the
Protest, yeah.
protest when we marched from the courthouse,
Mm-hmm.
and we marched to last summer. We marched to the jail, the Towson jail,
Yeah.
and where I spoke. You know what I mean? He was there, so like
That's what's up.
one of the things I spoke on was my pride of being a black man
Mm-hmm.
in my skin and wherever I go, and being just that, and being comfortable, being confident, and being, you know what I'm saying, being honored, being all those things. Like I said, one of the reasons why I chose to come to Towson, I'm talking to the whole crowd. These are people I know, white kids, white, whoever. You know, I said one of the reasons why I didn't just focus on only going to a HBCU was because people like Martin Luther King, people like Malcolm X, people like, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, all the greats, you know what I mean, from the Black Panthers, everyone you can think about that went through some type of struggle for us to have a seat. They didn't go through that for us to not be able to sit in any classroom and learn the same way or network the same way and do the same things. You know what I'm saying? I was like, dude, like, who the hell am I to say, oh, because I'm black, I'm only gonna, you know what I mean? Nah, but we're at the end of the day, we're all people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
And under the eyes of God as well. You know what I'm saying? So from that perspective, like, you know, people love who they love, they do what they do. I said, look, I'm the furthest from being uncomfortable with who I am and who I'm around and who I mingle with and everything. Obviously the realities are there's evils of this world. It's history, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we're getting past these things and trying to fix shit. But in order to do it, we gotta do it together.
Yeah.
And that, you know, sometimes people get it confused with HBCUs because people that go there, they have that division and they strive for that. They like, yeah, I'm here. Fuck, you know what I'm saying? Fuck the other side because I'm here. And it's not about that shit.
Yeah,
It's not about, they don't even need to teach that shit at HBCUs. You know what I'm saying? Because to be honest with you, some of the shit that we need to be learning, they don't even teach it at the HBCUs.
Yeah,
So if we want to really break shit down,
Really though.
if we want to really break shit down about what black people need to be teaching black people, we don't even do that the right way. But we so bent on fuck the other side so much, you know what I'm saying? And that shit blocks. It literally blocks your perspective. It blocks your level of being diverse. It blocks everything.
And if you're going to go to an HBCU and then step into, you know, corporate America or like, you know, the Fortune 100 or whatever, you have to know how to, you know, mingle with those different crowds. You have to know. You have to have that cultural experience.
You see me right now? I ain't come from a wedding. You know what I'm saying? I ain't come from a funeral. I was at a funeral of a, you know what I'm saying? You know, rest in peace to my uncle. You know what I'm saying? But like, I work at Bank of America. I'm a rapper. Nigga, what rapper you know work for, you know what I'm saying, Bank of America? You know what I'm saying right now? That's just pay the fucking bills. It's cool, but like it's not many people that have the experience or like the desire or like the people skills to want to even do that.
They don't care to have people
skills. They don't care about that. They're like, hey, like, you know what I'm saying? So you got to play the game to win the game.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you got to play the game. We make our own games and shit too, but we gotta play the game to win the game, bro. And niggas be scared. They think they playing the game, but the game playing them. And
it's like there's no right or wrong. You're the only judge of that. You feel me? Like you're the only judge of yourself. Like niggas said, looking in the mirror. You feel me? Facts. You're the only, like, the mirror don't judge you. You feel me? You judge what you see in the mirror.
Facts. Yeah, I had a professor at Morgan, and he actually sort of spoke on this. Shout out to Dr. Allen if he ever come across this.
Amen.
He sound familiar.
But he pretty much was talking about like what you was just talking about, like playing a game. So he was like, yeah, you want to like help out your people. Like we need people that are like, you know, come back and like give back. But he was pretty much saying like you gotta treat the game like basketball. You gotta treat it like Allen Iverson. So he had used this analogy where it's like you play the game, you play the field, and you playing. So you working with you got your opponent, right? And so you playing with him. And you got him. You go in one direction. you think that you're going in this direction. You completely make him believe that you're going in this direction, and then you bring it back.
Yeah.
And you sort of like fake him out. So he pretty much is using that analogy to the extent of like you play the field, you play the game as far as corporate, you know what I mean, or like whatever environment that you in, but then you come back to the community and you make those differences there. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And I was like, yeah, that's
exactly.
That's just like so.
That's the and you have to be very smart how you do it, because obviously at the end of the day, the people that
it's like the common sense shit, yo. Like you gotta know how to maneuver. Like people aren't like that people skill shit. Like if you don't have that, that will like put you in like wicked ass positions.
Shout out to Jay-Z.
Yeah.
For having one of the most immaculate people skills ever. As a black man, but then also as an artist in our culture.
I
was
to really, people like Dr. Dre, people like, Puffy, Ye.
Let's talk about Ye. What's up with that Donda shit, man?
Donda, he got a third arena. He's about to he got a third listening session. So what he's been doing recently is just, I guess every session is something different.
That nigga giving me anxiety.
He's literally just mixing and mastering like shit. Everything that he's already let people hear.
Cooking up.
And then he's adding records from the vault, and maybe I think he's recording shit all at the same time.
25, 30 songs.
He's about to go crazy. He's about to go crazy with it.
Real quick though, I did want to go back to Jay-Z just and we can
yeah.
But I just wanted to say I don't think that Jay-Z is like. So we know his moves, like we know that. What was that? The last thing that he did, like Ace of Spades, when he sold his shares of Ace of Spades, or something like that.
And also Title. And he also did Title. He sold Title.
Exactly. But like so we see this, but I don't think that I feel like Jay-Z could like give us more exposure to like what he's actually doing in those meetings, or like
you saying like how he's doing
it, like how he's presenting himself in these meetings. You know what I'm saying?
You can't
teach that.
You can't. Here's the thing. It's not that he can't. The one place he always teaches is in his words.
Yeah. Right.
The words are the most powerful thing, right?
Yeah.
So even Kendrick teaches in his words. Kendrick is very introverted in a sense, like he's not the like he's a leader in a different way. He's not like how we're sitting here right now on this camera, if this was MTV or whatever. You know what I mean?
It's the MTV.
You know what I'm saying?
For real.
You know what I'm saying? Like how Pac on any level, Pac was top level. You know what I'm saying? He was Drake of that era. You know what I'm saying? He was that. You know what I'm saying? At that level. So for him to be on national anything and say what he's saying, how he want to say it, and y'all gonna take that. Like no one had the bravado and the balls to be that back then. You know what I'm saying? At that level, you had niggas like Ice Cube or whatever, but no one was like that. And you don't find that Kanye's like the closest to that as the most outspoken motherfucker that you know what I'm saying, loud mouth if he has to be, like no filter, like fuck how you feel, we on CNN, I don't give a fuck, like you gonna hear this shit and you gonna think about it and y'all can talk about it, I don't give a fuck, like not too many people like this. So the power of words is Jay-Z, like he like 444 was straight game. That's one of his best projects ever, because that's him in his like rare form, like that's him now. I've never honestly seen Jay-Z evolve as a person until I heard 444.
Yeah.
Because we can all agree Jay-Z has evolved with like his rhymes, or he's evolved with his production, or we can all debate, damn, this album sound doper than that, or Jay-Z went harder with that.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about a nigga that made Big Pimpin' at 29, 30. Me give my heart to a woman. You know what I'm saying? Never. You know what I'm saying? I'll be forever macking. Like he was that bravado ass nigga for him to go from that all his career to apologizing to his wife on a record. Like, I apologize. For, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, for real. Like, just
even down to that freestyle he did with Nas. I don't know, if y'all saw it, but it was like just like a short clip that's on YouTube where he do like a quick like little freestyle where he talking about like crabs in the barrel, but crabs don't belong in the barrel. Then he say like he was like, but I don't want a hoe, I want a wife, somebody that I can bounce these ideas off at night, like that type of shit, like really spitting like that.
That's
the two albums from Jay where he was really like giving game. Was American Gangster. where he was talking from a street perspective and from a corporate perspective. Like, yo, I'm gonna give you, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk this shit like Frank Lucas. Like, I'm gonna talk about the drug game and how these white folks get money. But 444 story of OJ, bro, like, come on out. Like, the video, the fucking visual for that shit. Like, that shit was in your face, bro. Like, that's just classic. And then him talking about, you know, how the Jewish do this and that. Like, trying to give y'all some game for $8.99. You know what I'm saying? He literally was like, I'm trying to give y'all some $1 million worth of game for $8.99. Like, so he's with his words. So he don't have to videotape. He doesn't have to. He don't gotta carry you with a day-to-day to show you who he's talking to.
But it's like
that's not.
But I feel like that's how
mystery, though, you know.
Exactly. I feel like that's how the success is in mystery, like in moving silent. Like when people make the best moves when they move in silent.
Yeah.
And don't think that there aren't gatekeepers for Jay.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He can't fuck up that either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He has to be smart.
Exactly.
He can fuck his bag up.
Yeah.
He can fuck everything up, and we don't see it like that. But we don't know what rooms he's in with the $50 billion, $100 billion motherfuckers.
These are like $1 billion.
These
people,
niggas can
like
buy
Rihanna,
his career. You know what I'm saying?
Like Kanye. Like, these are people that are select music industry people that are actual billionaires.
Broke that barrier. Dr. Dre.
Those are the people you don't hear about at all.
But
you
bro,
none of them niggas.
Like the other thing, though, like you'll like look up, I don't know, Jamie Dimon. You'll look up Warren Buffett, and you can put in like Warren Buffett's daily routine or some shit like that. Yeah. But if I look up Jay-Z, I don't even know that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what he's doing. Like
is probably wake up, smoke a cigar, smoke a J.
I don't know.
Play with his kids.
Because I feel like he been exercising and shit too, and he be hanging with like what's his name, Jack
Practice
Dorsey.
swimming,
Twitter nigga.
But I'm saying like, I don't feel like he's giving us the game, you know, the full-on game. Like, how do we like how do we keep this consistency in order to get these results that he's getting?
He's a private.
You know what I'm saying?
He's a private.
It's hard.
Yeah.
And then again, you know, like you mentioned, that Warren Buffett and those guys, bro. I mean, those are just wealthy white men.
Yeah.
The world is theirs. Like, I mean, the you know, literally a broke college white kid right now in Towson. He's walking with a difference because if he's not aware or tapped in to something bigger than him, all he knows is that I'm a fucking white man.
Yeah.
And I can get away and do what I want to do when I want to do it in the world that I live in. And right now, I'm gonna do what I want to do. And they have that walk. They have that like carefree life.
Hell yeah.
Characteristics.
Hell yeah.
White people have a very carefree, especially the ones that just know, like, they know their privilege. Like, they're just like, you know what I'm saying?
This sort of ties
they don't
in.
give a fuck.
But I was talking to my girl about I don't know if we necessarily have that same. So all right, so when I be looking at like a lot of podcasts and a lot of these white guys, and they talking about like this extreme shit they do like 50 miles. They do those ultra marathons where they running like, you know, I don't know how many miles they swimming and hell of stuff.
Yeah.
They doing rock climbing where they like free whatever you call it, like where they don't have no like ropes and shit like that. Yeah, exactly. They doing all types of like crazy stuff, and I don't think that like the black. Like, I don't know if we necessarily, like, do those things, or if we necessarily, or if it's just, like, not exposed, but I was going to say that, like, I think that it's also because we have different priorities, we have different struggles, so it's like this, like what you just said, this white guy that he might not necessarily have money, but, like, he doesn't necessarily have the same struggle, so it's like, I can try these things out because, like, I can just do, you know what I mean, I don't have any, like,
and there's
you know, feelings like where I need to do this. I need to like, you know, I need to make money. I need to like support. Like I want to buy my mama a house type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they might not necessarily.
There's two. Like you've seen the film The Black Messiah. Okay, so you know you saw Black Messiah. So you saw firsthand like, and that shit pissed me off watching it again. You know that's why even some of my album, you know what I mean, that I have coming out, all that is all words. You know what I'm saying? Me talking my shit about stuff.
Yeah.
You know, white people, poor white people, to see the way Fred Hampton was able to rally them, that was like that's a different type of motherfucker. Like those are different type of people that, like compared to the white guy that's walking around and doesn't care, right? That has no money. Like there's two type of broke, poor when it comes to what they are in the hierarchies, right? Like, you know, you got the ones that are like, Like, yeah, I'm poor, but I'm still better than you. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Hell
like,
yeah.
in this American society, they're just like, oh, look, we both. You could be homeless and he could be homeless, and he look at you and be like, hey, we both worth a nickel and a dime, but motherfucker, I'm white. You know what I'm saying? And you're a nigger. So at the end of the day, if shit came down to the nitty gritty, they gonna grab your ass up and they gonna leave my broke ass to the side. You feel me? You're in the shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy.
In his mentality, right?
Ooh.
That's how low it can get. Like, motherfucker, both y'all in the dirt, both y'all in the piss, but he will still look at you like, I'm still
Look down at you.
you know, and,
Sure.
and that's what their mentalities can be as well. But then at the same time, you have what Fred Hampton was able to tap into, in Chicago. Like, yeah, y'all poor white folk, don't give a fuck about y'all either. You know, and some of them seen that with Trump and all that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't get it fucked up. Like, the ones that know how to use y'all, they use y'all too. And they look just like you, buddy. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, oh shit, like Trump really don't give a fuck. But no, he doesn't, buddy. Like, you know, get your mind right. So that's where people opened up. You had the motherfuckers that marched with Martin that weren't scared to get stoned or get fucked up. They were sitting in diners with all their classmates. You know what I'm saying? Like, those white brave motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? That sat with their brothers, like with brothers like us. And they were like, yeah, we all gonna get fucked up together. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. Yeah. They're the real OG. They don't even talk about them white folks. They need to put them in the history books too. Right? You know what I'm saying? They're activists as well for us. Because there's not many of them. You know, this protest we all went to, all in the city, Baltimore, marching up 83, I saw a majority white women, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of white women, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people out there that's marching for us, bro. Like, that will lose it all for us. Say fuck their family for us. You know, so we gotta shout them out too. Because they are part of the fucking struggle, they're part of the fight. For real.
Bro, this is like kinda on topic, kinda off topic. But I've been looking at, so I don't know if y'all watched, I think it's Dave, Lil Dicky, his show.
I watched that fucking show. That shit is hilarious.
But yo, that one episode where he did the shit with Rick Rubin. Well,
yes.
Rick Rubin.
It was. I think it was Rick Rubin.
At
the end, the very
that's funny.
10 seconds. It was Rick Rubin.
That was.
But I was gonna talk about Rick Rubin, like that. The style. So Rick Rubin, right? His style, like I think I read that he hasn't shaved his beard like since he was like 23 or some shit like that.
He hasn't shaved this shit since the 80s. Bro.
Yeah, he and the way that he dresses, he's just like, you know, throw on a t-shirt, some like shorts, sandals or some shit like that, and he's just like super like laid back. But he's, you know, a multi-millionaire.
He's like a Socrates.
Yeah, but it's like it's strange that he does that. But then I don't know now necessarily like if there's any like black, you know,
people that are like that.
You know, that are like that. And do we have
Questlove,
yeah.
Maybe Andre.
Questlove is like that.
Yeah.
Andre's a hip because Rick's a hipster, man.
Yeah, he's like complete hipster.
He's a guru, but he's like.
But that shit just like got me so into just that like that vibe. Like he was like they were. I don't know if this is like fictionalized, but like how they were like, yeah, we paint the space every time that a new artist comes in because we have to purify the environment pretty much, like, you know, that type of shit. Like I'm like, yo, that's some tough ass.
That's tough.
Just bringing.
That's tough.
Bringing that like. Bringing that
aura.
Bringing that like, you know, meditation and those things into like the rap space or like the music space, like that shit is like.
Yeah, I was looking at that episode when he was in like the flotation tank.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's hard.
I've never really seen one of those. I want to try that shit.
So I've seen like the little pause that they had where I think you could sit and like crisscross, but it's no like it's not water or no shit like that. Like that, whatever that was.
That one is just like
lay in. Yeah.
There's ones like that, but just not really in here because it's really like some type of therapy.
Yes, I was reading about the shit that he does. Like Rick Rubin, like I don't know if it's true, but he has like really like weird, not weird
traditions or something.
different routines. What I was talking about as far as daily routines. Yeah. One of the things that he does, he puts it's these like lights that you can like put up your nose. So he does like ultra red or ultraviolet, like some type of shit. Like he puts it up his nose while he's sleeping because it supposedly like helps you sleep at night. Like it betters your sleep. But I'm just like, yo, like these are some crazy shit that like I'm not even thinking about.
What?
So there's this type of device.
LED lights.
Yeah, some type of like red light that you can put. You put that shit up your nose.
That sound real Reuben.
Sound like some some wild shit. But just like it just made me think. I was just like, damn, like, am I tapping into like my like true creative, true like
Self, yeah.
my fully enlightened, fully aware self? Like if he's doing these wild, you know what I mean, these crazy traditions. Like, and I was like, yo, I need to start meditating. And I don't even know if that's like necessarily like as hot hype in the black community though. Like, are we?
So like, it's needed. It's needed. And to be completely honest, like, what's crazy is that for our people that have been through so much trauma in America that don't naturally practice that, because you go to countries around the world, I mean, you go to Africa, it's a practice.
Yeah, like yoga and shit like that. Like they just do it on a.
Well, they're not just on the streets doing it. I mean, obviously, there's still like a lot of shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? But just the spirituality,
Belief
because
and shit like
you know
that.
what I mean. The practices, you know what I mean, like being like just tapped in. Like I truly tapped into my spirit when I was in Africa.
Damn, you went to Africa? Okay.
I lived in Africa.
Oh, okay, bet.
I went to high
so
school.
when you,
I went to high school there.
I remember you saying you had been overseas, but I didn't know where.
Yeah. I was back and forth.
What part of Africa?
Liberia.
Yeah.
Where my parents were born.
That's
you know, they came here in the '60s, and you know, I'm the youngest of 7.
I don't want to jump too much, but how do you feel that are you not like first generation?
Like college? Or
no, first generation.
Like, as far as like
just American, like citizen, like U.S. citizen. Like, are your parents from? Okay, because I was gonna say I don't know, like that, like because you know you have some like more of a root, like a more of a grounding, I guess, because you know where you're from. I think that's also like some issue for me. Like I don't know what part of Africa I'm from. I could do like, you know, the ancestry DNA shit or something like that.
That brings a lot back to, you know, it's what I was gonna say was it's crazy that with that absence, how spiritual we are, how strong we are, and how we're very undefeated as a people in America after everything that's been done to us, and then everything that continues to be done to us, and we still are rising and rising, and they can't stop it. So like that is why we are special, because, you know, it's easy for someone to like you're saying, like for me, I wouldn't say it's easy, you know, because there's different levels of it. There's people that are first generation that don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, like, you know, you as a seeker of knowledge, you're the one that you have the power to know what you know, and then also, you know, that your community is responsible for your upbringing too, not just your parents. You know what I'm saying? Like I was fortunate to grow up. You know, 'cause my parents are American as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like they spent most of their lives here, but they decided to leave. You know what I'm saying? My dad was just like, nigga, like, I'm not gonna die in this country. I'm not gonna retire my money in this country. I'm not gonna own land and give it to my great in this country. So I have a purpose, and it's not to be here and end all be all. And and I respect that shit. And like as a teen, I didn't know. I'm just thinking that like my dad's just like a typical, you know, African eventually that's like, man, I'm gonna go back to Africa, you know what I'm saying? And whatever. But like it's bigger than that. Like he exposed me to a platform that I can bring back here, as we said, play the game. You know, part of playing the game is not just with white folks or whoever. Playing the game is playing the game with our roots, playing the game with, you know what I'm saying, what they blocked. You know, there's a reason why history books don't teach about Liberia. You know, Liberia is an American colonized country, bro. Free blacks born and former slaves in the early 1800s, formed 1812, formed the ACS right here in DC. People from Baltimore, people from Maryland, people from Delaware, PA, Virginia. These people got on ships and went back to Africa. They were allowed to go back to Africa by the U.S. president, bro, and founded a country that is known as Liberia on the Gold Coast, West Coast of Liberia, of Africa. Named it Liberty for freedom. Flag is the fucking same, red, white, and blue. They just got one star. You know what I'm saying? And named and like you go there, and yes, you have the native. There's like 12 native tribes of the country. You know what I'm saying? That have different dialects, but all the names of the people that colonized it and started government there and building and all those things, like to what it is now, they're all people that carry our last names and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Davis and, you know what I'm saying? And Taylor and Johnson, like every American last black name that you could think of that people carried, they got that. Roberts and all the first presidents were all from here. Literally, like Maryland born and VA 98 born and like American as fuck.
Damn.
They was out there, they was just like, yeah, yo. You know, but they don't know that. They don't know that that constitution for that country only allows people of color to own land and things. They have a lot of things that they have on lock.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Why would they teach that? If you really think about it, you play the game, why would they want to teach that to our young kids in public schools?
Right. That's crazy.
To give us that type of like pride, to be like, oh shit.
Yeah, right.
We got a country like that? Like, I'm trying to go there. Like, what?
Yeah,
what?
For real though.
Nah, they want to keep teaching you about
slavery.
They want to keep teaching you about Martin, keep teaching you about Malcolm.
Yeah.
I done heard MLK getting shot every goddamn year of my life. Man. What else? Teach me about the people I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Why? You know, just shit like that. Like, we don't want to keep hearing the same shit, bro. Why they keep teaching us the same shit that they want us to know? What the fuck is that?
I was just watching. I can't remember who was in this.
What the fuck is that?
I don't remember who was on this podcast, yo, but it was two white guys, and they were talking about. Matter of fact, it was Tom Billiard, and he did one. I don't remember the guy that he was interviewing, but he had talked about that. Like, well, they not that specifically, but he was talking about being that like certain cultures, because like he was pretty much like making this. He was pretty much saying that like, the more dominant culture will suppress the less, the weaker group of people. So it was almost like, damn, like, is this how he thinks? Like, because what he's saying is that pretty much the people that enslaved people in Africa, like, this is my connection. I'm like, shit, like, is he saying that like Africans are inferior to white people because they were enslaved by them? And I was like, damn, like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what time me on. Of course, that's a practice. That's what kids are taught.
Yeah, and that's right, exactly. And that's what
kids walk around town.
Yeah.
Fuck older generations. There's kids that are 18 that have been told in the last 18 years, like, taught that hate or taught that, like, whatever. So it's like, bro, it's crazy that, like I said, with the lack of knowledge that our people have, how special and different we are from any fucking where else. There has never been a place, a moment in history that has gone through what we've gone through in what we know as humanity, and to see that group of people rise like that consistently on this planet Earth we live on. Nobody like us, bro. Yeah. No human, like no race like us that's gone through the shit that we go through at all. Yeah. The closest to that, even in this country, is the Hispanics and the Spanish. You know what I'm saying? The people, our brothers and our sisters. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up my neighborhood, and you know what I'm saying, back around my way was like 80% Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, we was all in the shits together. We was getting police running up on all of us. Like, ain't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Police will bust all of us. It don't matter. Like, they look at us the same way. They're like, oh, y'all some fucking niggas, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much. Basically, you know what I'm saying? They're not killing white kids with skateboards and, that shit. I was laughing with him the other day. I'm like, when you see that, you know what I'm saying? Go on CNN and see a skate park get shot up, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They told y'all to get the fuck out of here, y'all ain't listening. Pop, 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 pop. And then put that on CNN, like, kid, they were from the suburbs. Oh yeah, like, we from the suburbs too, motherfucker. Yeah. The fuck is that supposed to mean? Just poor white kids too, broke as shit, like Eminem was, living in a fucking trailer. Yeah. And then there's fucking rich kids.
There's 8 Mile.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to talk about modern America? We all living the same out this motherfucker.
And even you right now, dressed professionally, you could still
I can get bust.
But yeah, exactly.
They will bust my ass.
No differentiation
right
between
now.
that.
Don't get it twisted. The power of appearance is something.
Yeah, it is.
Don't get it fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So me at work, I'm the best dressed motherfucker in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
In that motherfucker.
Yeah, no, I have to. I'm gonna start talking my shit. You know what I'm saying? Not for real. Black people dress better than white people anyway. I mean, there's no knock. I mean, we're sitting there talking. Y'all were talking about fashion when I walked in here. We created fashion, so let's keep it. Let's pay homage to what it is. Like, we are fashion. We are the root of culture. Yeah. Like, y'all take from us naturally. The swagger of the African is descent. Like, Europeans looked at that. The Europeans saw Egyptian. They come on now. Like, they know that. Right. We have the original swag. It comes from us. Sorry, no knock.
I hate that my job, yo.
But we gonna knock. You know what I'm saying? And so when I'm in work, like, the respect I get from anybody, wherever I'm at. Like, when I'm in appearance, it's like, damn, okay. You know?
Yeah, you said, my bad. We can get back to it. I hate when my job say, like, we got some swag for you guys. We got we got some shirts, we got some cups, we got some swag. We're giving out swag this event that we're having. And it's like, yo, for real, like, hey, is this what we used to
That's what we get into.
That's dead ass what they be doing.
This is what we doing. This is what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Swag bags for everyone.
Like, come on, dog. You feel me? Like it's like it's natural.
That shit's corny.
It's natural. You know, it's natural.
Yeah.
Like I had a professor right here in Towson. He went to Howard, and
Local wrestler.
man, I'm gonna put you.
You gonna blank that one?
I'm gonna put you on. He teaches African American rhetoric.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
African American rhetoric. I'll tell you right now that was probably one of my favorite classes ever.
Yeah.
And then also just like teaching about what we're just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Why going into details and using terminologies as to why and how and where it comes from.
Mm-hmm.
That we naturally have these things, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And in the ways we project these things,
Mm-hmm.
you know, through all types of forms, through
Yeah.
dance, through music, through chants,
Different
every
voices.
form of communication
Even like,
that we express that
Mm-hmm.
is rhetoric.
I don't know if there's any
It's
connection, but even when it comes down to, okay, so slavery, where we were like making our own language in order to like communicate to each other, like in a sense that so that they wouldn't understand what we were saying.
Yeah.
But then now we have our own communication where, I mean, maybe like, I guess, you know, in a different, you know,
Like slang.
selling drugs
Yeah.
or something like that. Like you using slang sort of the code what you're saying in that sense too.
Codes.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if there's
No,
there's a
you would have loved this
correlation with
class.
that too.
What's
That's-
codes? Rhetoric is another word for codes as well.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many different things, bro. We
Mhm.
touched on all type of shit. Because the
That's
book that we
tough.
had, the actual book, it broke down, like, it even tapped into Pac.
Mhm.
This is in the actual, like, I mean, I had the digital version too of the book. but-
Textbook.
Yeah, the textbooks, but like, you know, it talked about Pac. It broke down his lyrics
That's tough.
of, you know, just different terms
Mhm.
of like how the emotion was, you know what I mean, like where it came from
Mhm.
as a black man,
Yeah.
how he was able to display that
Mhm.
form in his music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Right.
yeah, bro, it's crazy. We broke down Solange. Like we started breaking down music. Like
Mhm.
we literally would be like, all right, y'all, like, you know, we'd be like, look, next class you have to listen to Cranes in the Sky.
Yeah.
And we're gonna watch the video. We're gonna break down the lyrics of the song,
Right.
and we're gonna watch the visuals, and we're gonna literally break down
Yo,
the rhetoric
that's
that was
crazy.
used to create this piece of work.
Because even
Like that type of shit, yo.
That's
yeah, and even so, what you're saying right now, right? You gotta have a certain background even to understand the lyrics in
Yes.
order to like make those
Yes.
connections. Because I'm on like on Genius
Yeah.
or like certain like lyric platforms, and they got the wrong words, and it's just like like some white person had that wrote that shit, like
Yeah.
not understanding the culture, or not understanding what we really are saying, and it's just like.
Think they know.
Or just let Siri do it. You know what I'm saying?
And they explaining it to you, and just like, yo, what are you talking
Yeah,
about? That is not what they
definition,
talking about.
No, that's not what he
Yeah,
said.
yeah,
Exactly.
but yeah, right.
That
That's
shit.
why like artists have to actually write them out and send them to
Yeah,
fucking
you
rap
would
jams
let
or
somebody.
something.
You got to be a real like hip hop consumer. You got to be a head. You got a hip hop head.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be hip hop fiend
Mm-hmm.
for bars to literally
Yeah.
count my bars and know. And I respect that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because at that point, you that nigga that's in
Yeah.
Brooklyn on the corner that's like. You know what I'm saying? Like you Bobby, yeah, like you know, like you
Yeah.
ready for the shits. Like you,
Bro.
you listening to, you know what I'm saying? And a
Yeah.
lot of the people that still got that art is like obviously the older, like you said, the OGs. Like,
Yeah.
the OGs are the ones that can really like hear every bar.
Right.
More
Yeah.
than that, more than that's
Right.
everything niggas don't talk about. And
Yep.
they try to hate like, oh, they little niggas. Yeah, because one of the little niggas today, I mean, at the end of the day,
Mhm.
you know, we as artists, like everyone has their form, but if
Mhm.
you call yourself an MC,
Yeah.
like it's it's not a common thing for success or what people look to do or even try to test their mind to want to do.
Yeah.
You know, put your pen to the pad and really like put this shit together, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just too much work. Either they give up on it, like, nigga, I can't do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a nigga on the bench. You know what I'm saying? He like nigga, I'm in the league, nigga. But you know what I'm saying? I'm in the fucking league. Like, you asking me to be an all-star right now. I ain't with that right now. You know what I'm saying?
And now even down to like lyrics, but then also just like rap in general. So for me, I don't necessarily have the experience with musical like instruments, or like even just down to like poetry or any of that. Like in that space, I know what sounds good. You know, what sounds good to me, I guess. But like I don't necessarily know, you know, like okay, like he used this in this place because this would give this, you know, effect, imagery, or this would give this certain effect, or like these things. Like it's definitely like a lot of, you know, complexity to that, like, you know, as far as like just the music,
like decomposing.
Yeah, but I don't even think like I don't have the, you know, the knowledge. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, but you can gain that over time. Yeah. Bro. You just like I said, like experience, like you knowing people and shit like that. Like you learn from other people. Like
diversity.
You influence, like other people influence you and how you react and how you act. And what you feel like you should experiment or take the risk of doing, and like that's really what influences people like taste in music. You feel me? Like there's certain music that I would like never put on. You feel me? But it's a very minuscule, like genre of musics, like or like you know just songs that I'm talking about. Like not like a lot. Like always try to experiment with music, just because there's a different feeling every time you listen to music.
It's spiritual.
Yeah.
It's spiritual. Like,
and it's tapped in. You're tapping into your spirit.
Like,
You're not like
your brain synapses are like connecting. Like,
bro, it's like
you're tapping into to be able to accept and like consume all of these sounds and make you feel different
There's like
things.
certain songs that like you could be like chilling and you hear them and like something in your body is like, oh shit, like I want to dance.
You feel it. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you get
goosebumps
like, shit.
And it be sometimes like you be in a restaurant or something like that and they playing some hard shit. Yeah. You're like, damn, like I want to dance like shit.
Or watching a movie and they just play something
like just want to start bobbing your head. It's really shit like that shit in your soul. Like, shit in your body, yo.
So I feel like I can pinpoint those things. Even when it comes down to, so I'm watching a movie and it's like, boom, like I know, like I notice certain things, like, you know, they'll do like foreshadowing or some shit. So I notice like, okay, they're doing this specifically in order to make me pay attention to this because later on in the movie they're going to bring this back. So it's like you notice those like little subtle things, but I don't know if I could recreate that same feeling because it's like. It's like I know what it is, but I don't necessarily know how to create that. Do you feel like with your music, like, do you like you can feel those vibes when you listening to like Jay-Z or some shit like that, but like how do you recreate those same like, you know, spiritual feelings or like that? Man, like when you
that's a great question, bro. I'm a spiritual artist. Yeah, I am. Like if that was a genre, I would say I'm a spiritual artist. Like when I make spiritual artists, bro, like. In the essence of like what even Pac, like the reason why I think Pac is the greatest rapper of all time is because it wasn't a level from a superficial to deep that he didn't take it to, that he didn't conquer. You know, he could give you the most superficial sound where he wasn't, you know what I'm saying the things that would have you like almost cry, you know what I mean? But then he could take it there. Emotion.
He had that range.
He had a range. He had probably, and I think people like Kanye and like these guys, they take it there too. You know what I'm saying? Pac made a song about Dear Mama, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like these are, like I don't care what it is. It's like pieces of work. Yeah. Certain pieces of work when you hear it every time, it's gonna always give you the same feeling.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So like when you hear,
how many brothers fell victim to the streets, rest in peace, yo, nigga, this to have a full G. That shit like speak to you like, so much, bro. Like
when I was young, me and mama had beef. 17 years old, But back at the time, never thought I'd see it. But ain't no woman alive that can take my mama's place.
And even down to that, like the way that he's put like
dog, he's like
and
it's almost like a
you can
pastor.
hear that,
It's like the same feeling like a pastor would give you, and like your hairs will rise, and like where you're like, damn, like this shit. You know what I'm saying? I've cried listening to certain songs. There's only a few songs
that can do that.
That can make like cry.
Hey Mama, like shit from Kanye.
You know, like Whitney Houston. You know what I'm saying? I'll always love you. Like hearing her vocals. Like you sit there, like listen to that. It would make you feel emotional.
Beyonce Halo or something like that.
You know what I'm saying? Like it takes it there to that level.
Not many songs that are able.
Not too many artists that can do that. You know what I mean? Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. Even Mike, you know, certain things he did. You know, Human Nature, like how that makes you feel when you listen to that song. Like
what's it called? I even listen to something like, you know, the classical, what's it called, Lacrimosa, I think, or it's like, you know, those opera songs and stuff like that. Like those, even like those, just there's certain like tunes or pitches or whatever it is that like just frequencies that triggers that triggers your certain points of your spirit and your chakras and everything, and you can really like bring that to that point, and not too many artists do that. So for me, I as a person am like that, so I have to be that as an artist. Damn, that's tough.
And like I would be lying to me. I would be a zombie if I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I would be like, what? Wouldn't even be having this conversation. So like with me, I strive for that shit. He can attest to it. Like when I have records where it's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? This is a hit. This is a single. This is a this. This is
we're gonna play one of them at the end of this.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But then, and then I have the records that where I want to make you feel because I felt writing every single bar of this song. You know, and even when I recorded it, the feeling that I had, undescribable. You know, where it could have been the spirits before me and the ones you know what I'm saying, whatever, that was all a part of that process to help me put that out there. You're like, yeah, bro, like the out of body experiences. I've had out of body experiences writing music. I've had out of body experiences coming up with rhymes. I've had out of body experiences performing my record, recording my record. You know, like when niggas say they black out. Right? Like when Kobe scored 80, he blacked out. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, people don't understand that. Like, he literally said it. Like, I couldn't hear the screams or I couldn't hear the crowd. I was so locked in that all he could hear was probably the ball, the sneakers. And it was like everything started getting muted and tuned out. It was like
I wanted
laser
that
focus. Like I'm sure Ali had those moments where he was just like
so into it. And
that's why he was just dodging everything. He was just in like Floyd, like all these different people that are gifted. Mike, you know what I'm saying? LeBron's tapped into like different people can tap into those things. You know, and we as rappers, you can tell the artists that tap into that zone and those that, you know, they do what they do from a very, you know, whatever level, you know, whatever, but it's like it's a zone that you go deep into, bro. Like, and you indulge into that shit. You're not afraid of your mind. I blacked out. I blacked out freestyling. I'm not even a big. I'm a writer. You know, I'm a big writer. I can freestyle. You know, and I respect the art.
Hell yeah.
Because freestyling is a whole different art form.
It really is, though.
So. You know what I'm saying? To say I'm the best freestylist, nah. Like, you know what I'm saying? When I think about niggas that can freestyle, I can name. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas that can literally just rap for hours. You know what I'm saying? And literally just not even almost not even think about what they want to say. It's just coming out.
It be niggas that are
just coming out
famous. It's
like, like you know what I'm saying? It's like niggas that's not even thinking about what they want to say next. They just saying it because it's just coming from somewhere, right? Like they're blacked out. Like you can't tell me they're not in a zone. I've been in that zone before where I've surprised myself. That's why I know about the zones.
You gotta be so focused too, because like
we've all been in the zone. You know what I'm talking about. You know.
But you gotta be so focused even when you freestyling, because like for me, I get like anxious because I'm around people and they like waiting for me to say something else. But you gotta be so tapped into whatever you want to say.
But I
next,
feel like if you like delete that like humiliation, like
that's
how you do like the cameras right now,
right.
Like you delete that humiliation and that like pinpoint in your brain, you realize like, oh, it's not as hard as I think it is. Like you don't have that anxiety, that feeling that
nobody can embarrass me more than I can embarrass
yourself. You're judging yourself.
You're your worst enemy.
You're like pre-assumption of what you think people think of you is what makes you feel whatever feeling, you know, like little of yourself or like
Facts.
have confidence in yourself and shit like
People
that.
have been in the zone.
Yeah.
No matter what you're doing.
That's
I
true.
mean, we've all felt humiliated before too. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's just, it's possible.
Shame,
like,
shame is a real
exactly.
thing too. You have to experience some type of, what I'm saying, like adversity like that. You know what I mean? Whether it's pain or like all these things, it builds your character, and you have to like regroup yourself. You can do that.
And
Nobody can do that for you.
not to jump back to, but as far as like the spiritual side of music, right? Like it's crazy that you can still get, like, you wouldn't think that you could, but you can still get those feelings listening to like trap music. Like I don't know why, like in my mind, like when you first said it, it was like, dang, like but like it's definitely songs where you just like, damn, I feel this shit.
Future's
like,
very spiritual.
Fucking like, what's it called? Percocets and strippers or some shit like that. I can't remember the name of that. I think that's the name
Codeine
of it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Shit.
And I was even
endless.
I even thought about Lil Baby's Grace, with 42 Doug, like that. Even that song with the that hot, what's that? It was like the I don't know how they do it, but just the beginning of that song, I don't know, but that's just like to kind of bring you in. It's like it's definitely like a spiritual
in the zone.
Yeah,
I've seen the root. Like when I was living in Africa, I saw the root of that song.
Damn,
that's another thing. I don't think like the level that the native, you know what I'm saying, native African people, the zone spiritually that they get into is where people start, mentioning, other forms of the spirit world. Those that use it for good and evil, the witchcraft and this and that, like because that shit is real. You know what I'm saying? We're sitting here talking about spirits. There's a negative and there's a positive balance to things, and it can be used in different ways. So,
bro, that's tough.
That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So like, I've seen that too. I've seen the dance. I've seen the chant. I've seen the Holy Ghost, how it take over you. I've seen that take over people there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where they not controlling their body.
Yeah.
I've just seen it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I've heard the music and how it made me feel there. Like
and
raw, like people singing and like.
Yeah, that's when we have the best connection.
Like the
with music.
real, you know what I'm saying? Real interior shit, you know what I'm saying? The old ladies singing, you know what I'm saying? All the women singing and shaking the, you know what I'm saying? The instruments and all of that. And you start feeling shit. And you're just like, yo, like, at first you think you're like, okay. And it's just like, it kind of brings you in and you're just like, yo, shit. Like that moment, one of my favorite film moments that always gives my hair, like, in Ali. When Will playing Muhammad, when he goes to Zaire, remember? And he starts jogging around, remember?
Oh yeah,
when he was in Africa, when he was in Africa, he was preparing for the fight.
Yeah.
His wife was giving him issues, his ex-wife, you know what I'm saying, all that shit was going on. And he started jogging in the movie. And then that doom, 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 doom. Doom, doom, doom. It's like, Senor, happy fair.
Yeah.
And it's like that jump, like on some real, and like the movie was so cinematic because like he's jogging slow motion and like also like the moment of what was happening in real life, like that happened to Ali was Ali realized it was spiritual. Like in that moment, Ali realized his impact as he was jogging around, and all the African children. Everyone in the whole city started like jogging behind him and like following him and chanting Ali Bomaye, Ali Bomaye, Ali Bomaye. That shit was like a spiritual chant. So he was just like, yo, this shit crazy. Like, you can only imagine, like, put yourself in that position. Right. You know what I'm saying? Where you have a whole people like holding you up, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you are our champion, like you are our son, like you know what I'm saying? We're here for you, like do this for us, like we like that feeling, bro, like, and the film depicted that shit so like deep and spiritual. That moment's like one of my best cinematic moments of like, you know what I'm saying? Damn, like spirits, baby.
Yeah.
It's real. It's real.
It's real though.
That's real too.
Got deep, yeah.
That's good. It's vibing. Yeah, yo. You know what I'm saying? If you want to hear something.
Yeah. Okay, bet. Yeah, well, let's do that.
Let's do that.
And what was I about to say? I don't even know. When you got when you dropping your next
It's a great question because I don't even know that.
So yeah, my next single. We're at the end of August right now. We're getting there, so I'm looking at dropping that in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Everything is to drop this early fall. Everything.
So I was gonna say, if you wanted to do some sort of like promotional, interview or something like that, in order to like get some hype up for, we could, do another one of these as well.
Of course, you
Yeah.
know. So the first project, the EP, the Mass show, that's already out there. You know what I mean? And that's gonna do what it's gonna do. This is another extension of that. This is like a spinoff of the Mass show. The Mass show is something I created with season 1, with the episodes. Something I want to go deeper and deeper into as my career progresses.
Yeah.
And have several installments of it and just kind of connect it. I want to be one of the artists to bridge the gap, and from what we consider old school, because hip hop is almost 50 years old.
Mm-hmm.
For people that don't know that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We've come a long way in a very short time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I want to be able to bridge the gap between cultures, from the past to the future to the now, and with music, using the people before us, and all that shit, So, this project is called Revolt, and I made it during the time, it was gonna be something else, way before the pandemic started. But during the pandemic and what was happening at the time with George Floyd and what it made me feel and what it made everyone feel, what it made me do, you know what I'm saying? Where I had my family from all over, even my pops, you know what I'm saying? Where he was like don't be out there too, you know what I'm saying? Don't do too much right now, because I've done that, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to have to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I know how this country
It get wild.
It's gonna get wild, you know what I'm saying? I was like you, I know you want to just be out there no matter what time of the night, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta be smart.
Yeah.
He had to keep reminding me, you gotta be smart. Don't stay out there and just think you're gonna do whatever.
Yeah.
And let your anger drive you and turn it into, whatever, because they're gonna do what they're gonna do.
Right.
And it is what it is. So this project is a product of it.
That's what's
Of
up.
that.